All right, what if I told you that you could create a 20-minute, super cinematic YouTube video without ever touching a camera? Sounds kind of wild, right? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the professional workflow for Google's brand new AI, VEO3, which makes this exact thing possible. We're going to break down the whole shebang, from a spark of an idea all the way to a polished final video. Let's just kick things off with a huge question. What if you could whip up professional, truly cinematic video content just by typing? No huge crew, no blowing your budget on location shoots. Is that even a real thing? Well, that's pretty much the promise of VEO3. This is where it comes into the picture. It's Google's new AI model, and it's really designed to be like your creative co-pilot for making videos. Think of it like having this infinite library of scenes, B-roll, animations, whatever you need, and it's all right there on demand. Okay, so we've got a handle on what VEO3 is, but who is this guide really for? Let's drill down and see who can get the most out of this kind of workflow. If you're a YouTube creator trying to make your long-form content really pop, this is for you. If you're a small studio or a solo filmmaker who dreams of those cinematic visuals but doesn't have a Hollywood budget, yep, this is for you too. And honestly, it's a potential game changer for content marketers, educators, even documentary makers. Anyone who needs amazing footage like yesterday.
All right, let's get into the professional AI workflow. We'll look at the core process and some key constraints you need to know about. So how does this actually work in a real-world professional setting? Let's walk through the whole process, from that first idea to the final video.
You can really break this whole thing down into 5 simple steps. First, you plan. Story, script, shot list, all that good stuff. Then you generate the clips, which are usually short, maybe 8 to 20 seconds. After that, you edit, stitching them all together. Then you mix, adding professional audio and color grading. And finally, you render, and you're ready to go.
But first, before you get all excited and just dive in, it is super important to remember some of the constraints here. Knowing what the model can't do is just as important as knowing what it can do. Trust me, this will save you a ton of headaches later. Okay, so there are 4 big things to keep in your back pocket. First up, clip length. VEO spits out short clips. We're talking around 8 seconds, so you're basically building a mosaic piece by piece. Second, costs and speed. Yeah, generating a bunch of these can get pricey, and it takes time. Third is consistency. Keeping the look and feel the same across different clips, that can be a real challenge. And last but not least, legal stuff. You've got to think about the rights for people, music, logos, the whole 9 yards.
Now we get to plan your story and prompts. This is the blueprint for your video. Honestly, this is where the magic happens. This is the fun part, where you get to be the director and tell the AI exactly what you want.
So a really great prompt isn't just one sentence. It's made up of these different components, these building blocks. You've got your style key, like cinematic documentary. You've got your camera instructions, like medium close-up dolly in. Then you describe the subject and action, the lighting and move, and even the lens and look. You're not just asking for a picture, you're directing a scene. That's what gives you all this amazing creative control.
Okay, so check this out. Here's what that looks like all put together. Cinematic documentary, medium close-up dolly in, an artisan shaping clay on a wheel, warm golden hour light, shallow depth of field, filmic grain. See? You're not just saying a person making pottery. No way. You're asking for a mood, a specific feeling. You're using real film terms to get exactly the shot you have in your head. It's brilliant. And it's not just for live action stuff. Here's another one, totally different. Minimal infographic animation, smooth aerial pan, 3D city map with animated lines showing routes, upbeat tone, flat color palette. You see? Perfect for an explainer video. The big takeaway here is that your words literally become your camera. The prompt is your new director's chair. All right, next up, generate and edit your video. This is all about bringing the pieces together. So your prompts are written, you've got a folder full of awesome clips. Now it's time to actually build your video. Okay, let's talk about audio, because this is a big one. Here's the deal. VEO3 times can generate audio with your clips, and that's cool for, quick tests. But for a professional final product, you're gonna want to use professionally recorded audio. I'm talking your own voiceover, music, sound effects. That's where you get that precise control that screams high quality. And here is your new best friend for the editing process, the professional editing checklist. Seriously, go through this before you hit export, making sure all your clips match, your color grade is consistent, the voiceover is clean, music is mixed right, copyrights are checked, subtitles are good. This is the stuff that separates the amateurs from the pros. Okay, we are in the home stretch now. Let's talk about how to polish, publish, and avoid pitfalls. These are the final steps and, maybe more importantly, how to stay out of trouble.
So, there are three big gotchas you want to watch out for. First is visual drift. That's when your shots start to look all over the place and don't match. Then there's audio mismatch, which we already covered, and finally, high costs. But look, there are solutions for all of these. For visual drift, you just use consistent style keys, and maybe even a reference image. For audio, you replace it. And for costs, you can test your prompts on a cheaper, faster model first. See? Totally manageable.
And last but not least, when you're finally ready to export and share your masterpiece with the world, here are the settings you'll want to use for YouTube. Things like MP4 format, 1080p resolution, 24 or 30 frames per second. Getting this stuff right is absolutely crucial. You don't want to do all that work just to have it look bad after you upload, right?
So, what does this all mean? This workflow? It's a totally new, powerful, and way more accessible way to create amazing video content. Which kind of leaves us with one big, final question to chew on. Is your next film director an AI? As these tools get smarter and more integrated, how is this going to change filmmaking and storytelling as we know it? It's pretty wild to think about.